Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you for joining me. Today I thought we'd take a look at the long out of print Samhain box set that came out in 2000. We're going to listen to some Samhain in the background, a compilation actually that I put together, and you could do the same if you had the box set. Something I just made there, but we're going to listen to it. It's got 15 tracks of what I consider to be the best Samhain, and we're going to kick this off here. And I give you a little bit of background on Samhain. They were founded by Glenn Danzig in 1983 following the demise of the Misfits, and the Misfits ran from 77 to 1983. Now Samhain's sound is more of a death rock, heavy metal sound than the Misfits sound, which of course, as we know, is that punk rock sound. The name itself is taken from the Celtic New Year and is the basis for the modern day Halloween. Originally it was just intended to be a side project and wasn't intended to become his full-time vehicle at that time, but did develop into that. And the skull image that's on the front cover here and used so prominently, also by Danzig himself. This is the debut Danzig album there. Of course, that image originally started with the band Samhain, was drawn by Michael Golden. And the cool thing about it is that it's actually from a Marvel comic book. Of course, Marvel being as big as they are now, the Saga of Crystar #8 is where that comes from. So it's not just something created for Danzig, it was actually a real thing. And during their time frame, they released 3 albums and 1 EP. Initium 1983, Unholy Passion, which was the EP, came out in 1985. Samhain #3, which is November Coming Fire. That's my favorite album by them. I think it's just absolutely stunning. That came out in 1986, and then Final Descent came out in 1990. And some would say that Samhain was actually over before that, because that's an album that was finished up by Glenn Danzig and released actually after the debut Danzig album. This came out in 1988, and he finished up the Final Descent under Samhain and released it in 1990. Now, the box set, as I said, came out in 2000. 10 years after the last album by Samhain, Final Descent. It contains 5 CDs and a VHS tape. Yes, it's that old, 2000. It was before DVDs got really popular and hasn't been back in print, so there's no DVD or Blu-ray version of this. It's got a 32-page booklet, a Samhain comic book. All of the material was remastered, and of course that's why I was able to put together my own compilation of this thing here, because with it all being mastered to the same sound quality, I could easily pick and choose what I wanted, and it all flows very well. The other thing is there's some unreleased material on here, as well as an entire live album that had not been released during the time of the band. The box art on here is actually done by Martin Emmon, who has also done work for Danzig, so it's why it's you know, probably pretty recognizable to most people. And at the time, the box only cost 60 bucks. So it was a good deal at the time to get, you know, 5 CDs and a VHS tape, all for 60 bucks contained in this box. So let's take a look at it. This is the front cover of it, and there's the side. Also had the writing on the top of the thing, and then there's the back side of it, showing you all the albums, including the live album that was new to this box set, and just describing what was coming in it. And the top of it just lifts right off of this, and so we'll pull that off. And then you'll see right away on top of it here that we've got the Samhain comic book, and I'll thumb through that in a minute. And then we've got that 32-page book, and I'll go through that. Then we've got the 5 CDs. And underneath that is the VHS tape. Now the CDs are in individual sleeves, which is cool, but no booklets or anything along with it, just like mini replica vinyl sleeves. There's Unholy Passion, the EP. November Coming Fire, as I said, that's my favorite. And Final Descent, which came out in 1990, which is also a really good one. Now, unfortunately, none of these individual albums are in print. Very, very hard to come by, including this box. This was the live CD. There was a 1985 show at Danceteria in New York City and a 1986 Metro Chicago show that made that up. And while we're at it, I'll just go ahead and show you the VHS. Not much to see on it. There is the side. The back didn't actually list anything or tell you anything, but there we go. Had some cool live stuff and footage on it, but not a whole lot of stuff. Here's the booklet. And it's done similar to the Misfits box set that you can see behind me, the coffin box with a really long, thin booklet like this. As opposed to maybe one of the fatter, wider ones that we're typically used to. But it's cool, some write-up that's in here, and it's got a lot of really great photos and stuff. And there you go. And then the comic book, which is a really thin one. It's only 8 pages, but still cool nonetheless to get it. Not a lot of stuff out there. There's the skull figure, so famous, also on the November Coming Fire album. So there you go. Danzig's Samhain project or band on the box set that came out in 2000 that collected all of the albums and EP at that time, and then also putting together the live album. Long out of print, very hard to come by. If you've got one, hang on to it. If you come across one, I highly recommend picking it up, as well as any of the individual CDs if you can find those. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.